Today is the 5th day of the 3rd month in the 9th year of Channel Group, April 16, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 천지인 참 부모님께 경배 바로. Let us recite 가족 맹세.
가정 맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
For our opening prayer, let us welcome Miss Jinky the Gumboy.
Join me in an opening prayer. 사랑하시는 하늘 부모님, 숭례하시는 존귀인 참 부모님, 사랑합니다. 감사합니다. Our beloved heavenly parents and victorious true parents, thank you for the new life once again as we start our day with this national morning hunduke, together with our leaders, elders, blessed families, and brothers and sisters. We pray that you will guide us beginning to end. As we are going to receive the message today from our leaders as your representatives, let us really prepare our heart and mind. Let's give us a mind of wisdom and understanding. Please allow your touch to stimulate our hearts and let this moment serve as an opportunity for heaven to directly fill us with life. We earnestly hope and desire our heavenly parents that you will allow us to become your sons and daughters who are able to bring about the work of our resurrection as your representative in these present circumstances. Despite of the pandemic situation, let us really unite with one heart, centering to our heavenly parents, our true parents, our true mother at this era. Therefore, if we have any insufficiency, please grant us penitent hearts so that we may repent of our own accord and overcome our limitations, heavenly parents, and comfort your heart Heavenly Parents. Thank you once again, Heavenly Parents, for this morning that you given us. As I offered this prayer on behalf of my leaders, blessed families, brothers and sisters, and report in our names, Kojin Kim as a blessed couple. Ju. Ju.
Aju. Let us all offer our individual prayer. Aju, Aju, Aju. Let's offer our greetings to heavenly parents and true parents and to everyone. Good morning to our national leader, to our brothers and sisters from home and abroad. Good morning po. Let's greet our brothers and sisters from the center as well. To your left, to your right, good morning. So to read us for our Hundok reading this morning, may I welcome Miss Hienfil Therese Jumawan.
Good morning, Heavenly Parents, true parents, beloved leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. Our reading from the book Mother of Peace, a memoir by Hak Jahan Moon. Chapter 10, The Challenge of Realizing a Heavenly World, continuation. Liberating those who have ascended differs from comforting those who are living on earth. Both are possible through the earnest prayer of God's only begotten daughter, who carries the mission to save humanity. Facing the silent, grieving walls of the house of slaves, I forever broke the miserable chains of Africa's oppression. The anguished cries of Africans should be heard and their plight embraced. Humans' long, painful history of exploitation and deprivation of freedom must come to an end. This was my motivation as I traveled thousands of miles to come to Guri Island and walk in this still, peaceable, and sorrowful land of Africa. Having seen the slave cells and door of no return on the first floor, I did not take the stairs going to the second floor where the slave owners lived. I instead made my way to the courtyard. There, together with Kuri Island Mayor Agustin Senghor and his wife, and many local officials. I offered a prayer for liberation of all Africans who died as victims of slavery. A short walk from their brought us to a small square. Along one of the yellow-painted walls were several small plaques honoring eminent leaders who had visited the island, including Nelson Mandela, Barack Obama, Mother Teresa, and John Paul II. As they unveiled a plaque with my name and with the inscription, Mayor Senghor said, "This doesn't fully embody my grateful and indebted goodwill, but it will stand for ons as an enduring symbol of the precious heart you have brought there." Many among the crowd expressed their thanks to me for liberating Africa from the weight of 500 years of suffering. It was a heartfelt token of appreciation from the people of Senegal, and I felt the content. Following the unveiling, the little angels moved everyone to tears with beautiful Senegalese songs they had learned and rehearsed over many hours. As we made our way to the pier to depart, I told the mayor I wanted to leave a gift behind the wood beneath the whole island. When we reached the pier, we could hear the sound of motorboats approaching. It was a water ambulance I had prepared as a gift to Guri Island for passengers. An emergency patient transport. Christened with the name Victoria, it reflected our common hope that, although innumerable lives have been lost over the centuries, no others will be lost for the lack of a medical boat. In Africa, the plight of many remains bleak despite abundant natural resources and wondrous scenic beauty. Poverty is rampant. Nevertheless, Africans are kind, passionate, and diligent. God has called the peoples of Africa to shine as bright, immutable, heavenly creations. Africa makes me feel the heart of our Creator, our Heavenly Parent. Adieu.
Thank you so much, our sister Hienfil Jumawan. At this point, to give us the 10 points of gratitude is give a virtual round of applause to Mrs. Jayon Manabat Sugira.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to share my 10 points of gratitude. Number 1, I am grateful to Heavenly Parents for giving me new spiritual and physical life today. Number 2, I am grateful that Heavenly Parents gave me love, life, and lineage. Number 3, I am grateful to Heavenly Parents for always guiding me to walk the path of God's will. Number 4, I am grateful for my parents for showing us the path to perfect the true great blessing and walk the road of tribal messiahship. Number 5, I am grateful for my parents for being patient in us, in helping us to become a better parent and guiding us to love our children. Number 6, I am grateful to my husband for his dedication every day in his mission and for continuously growing his fatherly heart to the region and our family. Number 7, I am grateful to my 2 daughters for always giving me love and inspiration. Number 8, I am grateful to my brothers and sisters who patiently help us in our mission and taking care of my kids. Number 9, I am grateful for our spiritual children in our tribe for always giving us so much hope to build a peaceful world through their families. And number 10, I am grateful for BFD for helping me grow and broaden my heart to become a mother to other blessed families in our region and giving me this opportunity to share my 10 points of gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Jayon. At this point of time, to render us with an offering song, let's give a virtual round of applause for our sister, Jean Buyayo. Let's give her a virtual round of applause. Yes, thank you very much to our sister Jean for rendering us with a very beautiful offering song. And I know for most of our brothers and sisters here, this song holds like a big significance for each and everyone. So I'm sure there are certain memories that came back to mind. At this point of time, we will now be receiving the internal guidance and receiving the words of God to our messenger this morning. So without further ado, please help me in giving a big virtual round of applause to our national leader, none other than Reverend Leo Angelo Halog. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much, our brother Victor. First, I would like to greet our heavenly parents and true parents. Good morning, our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you very much to all our leaders and all our blessed central families, brothers and sisters. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much to our today, BFD, that's Family Department, hosting our Hunduke. Thank you very much for that wonderful song shared today, and also the heartfelt 10 points of appreciation shared by our Sister Jayon. So good morning to all brothers and sisters. Welcome po once again to our Hunduke. Today is our 75th day of our national morning devotion. I'm really grateful that many brothers and sisters are always coming together, not only in the Philippines, but even from other countries. So today I would like to share another topic. So let's study together. So for a few days, I shared actually basically for the youth those messages of True Father. Today I will be sharing more with the families. So as today our host is Blessed Family Department, and really this is a very important department in our movement. Whatever we are doing, ultimately we are really hoping for us to increase and expand this really true family movement, starting from our own blood central families and brothers and sisters. How can we be able to really build a family that can truly give joy and happiness to our heavenly parents and true parents? That's why in our blessing department, they are really playing a very important role, especially this time. A week from now, today is 16, or on 25th, we're going to have the HJ blessing ceremony centering on our beloved true mother. So we will be having also couples in the Philippines that will be participating. So this time, they are always, IHQ is always looking for also big numbers, because this is really the ultimate thing where people's lives can really be changed only through the blessing. So through the blessing, this is the door for us to really build ideal families. Without the blessing, people cannot really build ideal families. So today I would like to share with you this topic entitled True Love is Found in True Families. So let us study together these words of our true parents. So Father said, when a family is protected, it becomes a nesting place for happiness. No matter how much a man and woman may love each other, a complete and happy family must have parents who act as a protective shield around the home. And there must be at least one child for the parents to love. When a family is protected, it becomes a nesting place for happiness. Even a person with great success in society will have an unhappy family if this protection collapses. So, Father is talking about really having a complete family. So when we have parents and when we have a child, when we have complete family, Father is saying, then our family is always protected and it becomes a nesting place for happiness. That's why people, even though people are looking for happiness without having a complete family, people cannot really find the happiness that they are really looking for. As we are created, to be happy, right? This is our ultimate desire. Human beings desire. That's why we are, striving in life. We are doing our best, always finding ways, actually purposely for people to be happy. But without complete family, human beings can never be happy. And then as we can see now, what's happening in the world, not only in our country, continuously broken families are increasing, right? Families are breaking down. That's why if families are like this, then people will never be happy, right? And then there's no protection. So only if the family is complete, then the family become nesting place for happiness. Father said, the basis of love is the heart that sacrifices everything for the sake of the other. So the basis of love is the heart that sacrifices everything for the sake of the other. The reason parental love is true love is that parents are willing to give everything to their children. And when they have given everything, they want to give even more. Parents who love their children do not even remember what they have given. No parent would keep track of all the shoes and clothes he bought for his child and say, "This is how much I spent on you." Instead, a parent gives everything he has and says, "I wish I could do more for you than I have, and I'm sorry that I cannot." So the heart of the parent is truly cannot really explain, right? So Father said that the basis of love is the heart that sacrifices everything for the sake of the other. So this is the heart that really starts with the parents. So its basis, the basis uh, of love, Father said, is to really sacrifice everything. So the heart of the parent. So when you started to become a parent, you started to understand more the heart of our heavenly parent. Father said, right? Like our heavenly parent that sacrifices everything for us, even after Adam and Eve fell, right? Continuously, heavenly parent is not giving up, continuously sacrificing, and then finding ways how can he once again embrace his children and then willing to give and sacrifice everything. The same is true for the parents, right? That's why when we started to become parent, we started to understand our own parents, physical parents, and especially our heavenly parent that is really willing to sacrifice everything. So the heart of the parent, the love of the parent is the basis. Their love to their child, willing to give actually even their life, right? So that's why Father said the reason parental love is true love is that parents are willing to give everything to their children. And when they have given everything, they want to give even more. So parents, find that giving is the source of joy, right? When you become parents and then when you are giving to your children, actually you are becoming happier and happier as you are giving continuously, right? That's why it becomes natural for the parents to give. Really love when it became the basis of sacrifice, and then also it becomes the source of joy, becomes a source of true joy and happiness once you become parents, right? Sometimes if people, if you don't have that kind of heart, very difficult to give. You are thinking that you are losing something. That's why Father said when you start to give, you are standing in the position of, parental heart. You are carrying parental heart. When you have parental heart, and then when you give, you find joy and happiness. Cannot explain. That's why it becomes natural for the parents to give. That's why Father said, when we carry the heart of the parent and then in the shoes of the servant, kaya nga, leadership should be parental leadership. Meaning when you carry that kind of heart, you always want to give. You always want to give. Only you are thinking of giving because it gives you joy naturally. So naturally you want to give and then you continuously want to give more endlessly because it gives you joy, it gives you happiness, right? It's really amazing. And then once you cannot give anymore, as a parent, Father said here, you feel sorry that you cannot give and then you continue to find way. How can you give? This is really amazing truth, right? That's why as people wanted to, find joy and happiness, they are really doing everything to be happy. But, without knowing this principle and without practicing this, people can never be happy. That's why the basis is love. When you have love, you are willing to give and sacrifice everything. And then through that, you can find true happiness. Aju? Father said, it risks its life to keep its hold on the flower. So Father is giving example here. Father said, as a child, I would follow my father around as he tended to his bee colonies. And I saw how the bees behave. When a bee flying around a flower caught around a flower garden, caught the fragrance of a flower, it would place its legs firmly on the flower. It would then stick its nose deep into the flower so that its rear end was pointing upward while it sucked up the nectar. If you grab the bee on its rear end, it would not let go of the flower. It risks its life to keep its hold on the flower. So like the bee. So when the bee already, found the nectar, it can really risk its life. So it's like, really when you find, true love, you can, for the sake of love, you can risk even your life. So let's continue with our Father's message about this one. So Father said, parental love is the greatest love in the world. So the love of the parents cultivating in a family is like the honeybee attached to the flower. So even if a parent should lose his own life, he will never let go of the bond of love that ties him to his child. Parents will lay down their lives for the sake of their child and then later forget that they had done so. This is the true love of parents. No matter how far or dangerous the path may be, the parent will gladly travel it. So parental love is the greatest love in the world. So father is giving that example. So like the bee, once the bee found found the nectar, it is like the bee is willing to risk its life. Even you take out the bee, you cannot take that out, even if its body will be torn into pieces, because he found true love. The same is true, Father is saying here. So the love of parents cultivating a family is like the honeybee attached to the flower. So even if a parent should lose his own life, he will never let go of the bond of love that ties him to his child. So we could see already in our life, I think we have seen many instances and situations that the parents are really sacrificing their life, even substantially. Like for example, when you see someone, and then the child is in danger, for example, on the street, and then when the parent see that a car is about to hit the child, the parents will surely, without hesitation, will going to sacrifice his life for the sake of his child, right? It will be natural. It will be natural. So this love between parents and child, especially the love of the parents to the child, this is Father saying here, he will never let go. Parent will never let go of this love, even at the risk of his life. So like the honeybee, that's why Father is explaining. So parental love is the greatest love in the world. It can sacrifice and really give even its own life. This kind of love, if only this love can be present in this world where we are living in, right? The politicians, the religious leaders, all leaders in all sectors of society, if only they are, practicing, carrying this kind of love, all the problems in the world, in all the problems in our society, in our nation will surely be solved. Aju, that's why this love is lacking in this world. This love is lacking. We cannot see this love even in the families now. Why parents are abandoning their children, right? Many parents, they abandon their children. They leave their children because they don't have this kind of love. So if only really parents, really carry and practice this, and then all the leaders in all sectors of society will going to carry and practice this kind of love, then all the problems in our society will be solved. Aju, this is really, really important. That's why how to overcome this chaos in the society. Love is missing actually. What kind of love? Parental love. Parental love is missing. That's why Father is telling us when we become leaders, parental, we need to carry this kind of leadership with the parents' heart. That's why now Mother said we need to educate our leaders, our politicians, right? All the leaders in all sectors of society. If only they were going to understand this, and then they were going to practice in their fields, whatever in their place where they are practicing their responsibility. Naturally, we can change this society. We can change this world. Aju, that's why parental love, Father said, is the greatest love in the world. If only we can carry this. So that's why also, as we are also preparing, we are being trained by true parents. So that later on, when we, for those who are not parents yet, when you become parent, you can really, through understanding also about this one, and then we can really become also great parents in the future, right? Really giving this kind of love to our children. We can raise up really filial children. We can raise up patriots. So the key is, love when we give them, when they receive, and then when they were nurtured and cultivate with the parents' love, then these children of ours will going to grow up loving humanity, loving their nation, loving the world. That's why parental love is really the greatest love in the world, Father said. Father said the family is the place where we receive true love and learn true love. So a person can live in a wonderful house and eat exotic foods from the mountains and the oceans. But if he has no parents, there will be a large void in his heart. A person who has grown up without receiving parental love has a loneliness and emptiness in his heart that cannot be filled with anything else. The family is the place where we receive true love and learn true love. Children who do not receive true love when they are young live their entire lives hungering for love and suffer emotional pain. Not only that, they don't have the opportunity to learn the lofty moral duties that they must fulfill for the family and society. True love is a value that cannot be learned any place other than in the family. That's why really we could see, many of us also came from broken families, right? So we couldn't really, many people, many brothers and sisters couldn't really feel and experience love from their parents. That's why, sometimes meron tayong sinasabing mga kulang sa pansin, laging nagpapapansin because they couldn't receive. That's why Father is saying, right? So a person can live in a wonderful house and eat exotic foods from the mountains and eat in the oceans, but if he has no parents, there will be a large void in his heart. So a person who has grown up without receiving parental love has a loneliness and emptiness in his heart that cannot be filled with anything else. That's why, people who wouldn't really receive love from their parents, they're trying to find in other place or from someone else. That's why ito yung nakikita natin na mga young people, they are, mga napapariwara, right? Because actually they are seeking for something that they cannot find. They couldn't experience. They try to, make a lot of friends, to find other company. They are seeking for this kind of love. That's why actually Father is saying here, always they will find emptiness and loneliness in their heart that cannot be filled with anything else. That cannot be filled with anything else. So the family is the place where we receive true love and learn true love. So without a family, people cannot really receive and cannot learn love. So children who do not receive true love when they are young and live their entire lives hungering for love and suffer emotional pain. So very painful, Really, that's why many people are suffering because they couldn't receive love. Their families are broken and then nobody could take care of them. So not only that, Father said, they don't have the opportunity to learn the lofty moral duties that they must fulfill for the family and society. Also, they cannot learn how they will live their life, the moral duties, the basic things that they need to learn to fulfill their duty in their family later on and in the society. That's why true love is a value that cannot be learned any place other than in the family. That's how important the family is. And then, the society, we are really lucky in the Philippines. Really, in our constitution, it is really stated there clearly the value and, the state needs to protect the family. So our nation knows the value of the family. But even though we have this, people are not looking about this one so much. So problems in the family, we have so many things. Of course, some groups or even our organization, they are doing basic things sometimes or minimal things, but they're not really giving so much focus about this. That's why without strengthening the family, it's impossible to solve the problem in our society. It's not enough that we send children to top schools to study in Harvard University. It will never solve the problem. Study in our top schools in the country, Ateneo, LaSalle. Without really focusing on how to develop and strengthen families. Kaya nga sabi ni Father, dapat ang mga schools daw should teach about family. So we could see now the problems in our society that is rooted in the family. So what the government should be focusing on by now should be educating people, families, and most importantly, young people who are preparing to build family, right? That's why only our movement is really teaching very clearly about this. Of course, other religions also, tinuturo rin nila yan. Meron tayong mga couples for Christ, kung ano-ano, they focus also with families. But, not really as how true parents teach about families, right? So it's really, really important. Kaya nga tayo, how can we really substantially change this society, this nation? By, really building our own ideal families. And then we need to multiply, kaya tayo nagta-tribal Messiah. So how we are practicing living our life as families ngayon, we have to influence others, our neighbors. Kaya nga, we could see now many difficulties in the families, even our own families. We know our brothers and sisters also, their families, husband and wife, parent and children, we could see. That's why without really starting from our own families, really, there's no hope in this world, right? There's no hope in this world. That's why really in our own families, we have to really become an ideal family, right? no matter what, we have to really, practice through parents teaching. First, in our families, our relationship with husband and wife, parent and child, brothers and sisters. Then, the society will naturally see the difference in us. Sabi ni Father, time will come, people will come to us even if we close our gate. That time will only happen if we already substantialize through parents teaching. If people can really see already substantially our families, loving, really, really ideal families. And then we continue to multiply. Naturally, people will be the ones to come to us. The government will come to us. Religious leaders will come to us. All sectors of society will come to us. The academy will come to us. Why? Because they will see a different way of life, different kinds of relationship that never seen before. Right? That's why still we are minority maybe. So we have to expand. That's why through Heavenly Tribal Messiah, once we become, majority, slowly people can see. Already now people are seeing. Right? That's why if we continue to spread, that's why now the Heavenly Fortune is with us in this time period from 2020 to 2027. This is now the best time to expand, exponentially. That's why it's starting from our families, right? It will really expand exponentially without, people knowing, noticing. One day, really, everybody will come to us. Aju, everybody will come to us. They will go into see this substantial. That's why really this time, how can we really improve and develop more our own families also, and really showing the substance of true parents teaching, and then really influencing our neighbor, our community, our barangays, our provinces. Aju, that's why really the family is the key. That's why really this true family movement that true parents have started. This is really the solution in really building an ideal world. Aju, strengthening families, preparing our young people to really become ideal father, ideal mother, ideal husband, ideal wife, and really building that family that will going to really become strong foundation for the nation and for the world. So Father said, a true family is a place where a husband and wife each love each other. So a true family is a place where a husband and wife each love the other and live for the sake of the other, as if the spouse were his or her mother, father, or sibling. It is a place where the husband loves his wife as he loves God, and the wife respects her husband as she respects God. We cannot forsake our siblings, no matter the difficulties we may face. Neither can we forsake our mothers. So the term divorce cannot even exist. The husband is in the place of the father and older brother to the wife. Just as a wife could never forsake her father or older brother, she can never forsake her husband. In the same way, a husband could never forsake his wife. This is amazing what Father is talking about here. That's why sabi ni Father dito, the term divorce cannot even exist. Why? In the relationship of husband and wife, it's not only, kasi sa labas, they don't have this kind of concept. Kala nila only husband and wife, only a wife, only a husband, that fulfills, actually, they're thinking, this person, my partner, to fulfill my desire. The same way, ganon kasi yung thinking nila. So just, a partner of love, that only stick in that one relationship. But what Father is teaching us here, the relationship, our relationship type, sometimes we are a father for the husband. Sometimes you are a brother to your wife, right? Also, the same is true with the wife. Sometimes you are the mother or you are the sister to your husband. So with this kind of, relationship, divorce can never exist. Divorce can never exist. So when you have like difficulty, sometimes kaya nga tayo minsan para nating anak din yung wife natin. Di ba? Ganon din yung wife, para niya tayong anak minsan. This kind of relationship exists in this relationship of husband and wife. Really amazing, right? That's why, sabi ni Father, the word divorce will never exist in this kind of concept in the relationship of husband and wife. Especially, Father said here, the husband loves his wife as he loves God, and the wife respects her husband as she respects God. So when husband and wife divorce, it's like they are divorcing with God, cutting off the relationship with heavenly parent. That's why this word divorce will never exist in this kind of relationship, in this kind of concept, If only all husband and wife and our young generations can, understand this prior to getting married, there will never be divorce anymore later on. Aju, there will be never, no more husband and wife that will going to separate with this kind of concept, right? It's really amazing. This is really the solution. That's why we are teaching the families and really helping our young brothers and sisters prepare well, right? This is really the solution, what we are doing now. True parents in their life is really substantially solving the problem in our society. Aju, that's why only true parents is our hope. Many people are always talking about many things now, but they don't have substantial things to show about their families, their relationship with their husband and wife. That's why when we see our elders, our leaders now already, even though they are old, you can see the amazing relationship that they have between their as husband and wife. This is really the only, very seldom we can see already people outside like this kind of relationship, right? They are like, very close. They are like friends, like brothers and sisters. Really amazing. This is the solution in all the problems in our society. Father said a true family is a place where each spouse acknowledges each other. So a true family is a place where each spouse lives with acknowledgement of the absolute value of the partner. It doesn't matter if a husband and wife come from different races or cultures. If they have formed a family after having received God's love, then there can be no conflicts of culture among the children born into this family. These children will love and value the culture and tradition of their mother's country and father's country with the same love they have for each parent. Resolving conflicts in multicultural families is not a matter of providing them with particular knowledge. Instead, it is a matter of the parents of these families raising their children in true love. The parents' love soaks its way into the flesh and bone of the children and becomes the fertilizer that enables the children to accept their mother's country and father's country as one and become wonderful citizens of the world. This is really amazing, especially for, families that are coming from different nations, different cultures, right? Even from the Philippines, different religions. That's why Father is emphasizing dito. So, sabi ni Father that, these children, if we can really raise them up very well, later on, they will not going to have any concept, of the culture of their parents, their father or their mother. Really, they are the unification of, two culture. From parents who are coming from, racial, international couples, they know ngayon from their children. When you ask your children, whom they love most, they will not just say, I love Japan most or I love the Philippines. No, they, when you raising them up, well, properly, explaining to them, both value of father and mother, the same culture, they will going to have this very clear concept. They will going to love both, right? That's why Father is saying here, these children will love and value the culture and tradition of their mother's country and father's country with the same love they have for each parent. So resolving conflicts in multicultural families is not a matter of providing them with particular knowledge. So it's not a matter of providing them particular knowledge, Father is saying, in resolving conflicts in multicultural families. But most importantly is that you acknowledge each other, especially husband and wife. You need to acknowledge each other. If you always do this, your children will going to see this. They will going to grow up knowing and understanding that, both of whatever culture you came from is both important. As you acknowledge each other, your children will inherit that. And then your children will naturally grow up loving both culture, loving both nationality, right? Without any, discrepancy. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. That's why they can really see unity within their parents, and then naturally your children will always, look at, the society that everything can be united when they see that in their parents, despite their differences. Aju? So Father saying here, the parents' love soaks its way into the flesh and bone of the children and becomes the fertilizer that enables the children to accept their mother's country and father's country as one and become wonderful citizens of the world. So the parents' love is like fertilizer, Father is saying here. Our love to our children. This will really become fertilizer that will nurture them, that will going to love any from their, parents. This is really amazing. Most importantly, husband and wife need to really acknowledge each other and really love their children fully. Aju? True Father said, the family is the school where love for humanity is taught and learned. So the family is the school where love for humanity is taught and learned. When children who are raised in the warm love of their parents go out into the world, they will care for people in difficulty in the manner they learned in their home. People raised in loving relationships with their own brothers and sisters will go into the society and share their caring hearts with their neighbors. People raised in love will look upon each person they meet in the world as a member of their own family. The starting point toward a true family is the heart of love that treats strangers as family and shares with them. Really, everything begins in the family. Our children, how can they have caring hearts later on? Really, they have to really see and really learn in the family. Really, our family is really the school, more than any school in the world. Actually, this is the only school that built by God, right? There's no other school, only the family. That's why if we raise up, sabi ni Father, when children who are raised up in the warm love of their parents go out into the world, they will care for people in difficulty in the manner they learned in their home. That's why really everything begins from home. That's why now as parents, that's why when we are now parents, we have to be very careful living our life in the family. We thought our children are not noticing what we are doing, especially when parents are fighting. That's why Father said, like for example, when parents are, in conflict or in fighting, and then suddenly your child comes, you have to pretend that you are like loving each other. Never let your children see that you are fighting. Otherwise, they will going to inherit this, right? They will going to inherit this, and then once they see this, often in the family, that parents hate each other, fighting, they were going to start to hate their parents. And then when they go out in the community, in the society, they start to hate other people. When they see, the same age as their parents, they hate these people. Why? Because they hate their parents. They started to hate their parents. That's why, despite the difficulties that we are facing in our families now, husband and wife, parent and children, brothers and sisters, we have to be very careful in our home. Because that's a school. Whatever we are doing, we are teaching. Our children are inheriting this. So we have to put in our mind, we are really teachers in our home. Whatever we do, naturally our children follow and inherit. This is a really important point we have to be aware about. So people raised in loving relationships with their own brothers and sisters, Father said, will go into society and share their caring hearts with their neighbors. People raised in love will look upon each person they meet in the world as a member of their own family. So the starting point toward the true family is the heart of love that treats strangers as family and shares with them. So really, how important really the family is. So building an ideal world, we need to build an ideal family. Parents loving each other, husband and wife loving each other, parents and children loving each other. So when we build this kind of families and we spread and increase, just in due time, this world will surely transform. And this world can become kingdom of heaven in due time. That's why what we are preparing for, our young brothers and sisters especially, now we also with the families now, we have to improve continuously our families and really become really a family that can inspire our society, a family that can inspire our nation, the world, and then we can really build an ideal world. So Father said, a family expands to create a world. So another reason the family is important is that it expands to become the world. A true family is the basis for forming a true society, true nation, and true world. It is the starting point toward a world of peace that is God's kingdom. Parents will work for their children until their bones melt away. They are not working just to feed their own children, however. A person whose heart overflows with love is capable of working for the sake of others and God. So that's why our family naturally expands to create the world. Our family creates the society. creates the nation, and then eventually make a world. Aju? So it is the starting point toward a world of peace that is God's kingdom. That's why really, when I study, these teachings of Father, really, I cannot really emphasize enough how important the family is. Kaya nga pala sabi ni Father, we really need to, that's why Father educated us so much. So much about family. We have books about this one. As young as we are, sabi ni Father, we need to really prepare well kasi nga ang pinaka-seryosong problem ng society natin ngayon are, broken families. And then, our young people who are preparing to build families. Kaya how serious this is. So, how can we really contribute in building an ideal world? Kaya nga sabi ko rin dati, when I joined our movement, unang-una, pinaka-goal ko is to build a good and ideal family. Kasi when I was young, always my parents are fighting. When I was young, and then when I was 6 years old, I transferred to my grandparents. My mother go abroad in order for her to send us to school. So that time, so I'm happy that I could have a wonderful grandparents in my mother's side. How much they love each other, my father, my grandfather, and my grandmother. Almost they are like already my parents, because of course, actually when I was 6 years old, and then my mother came back, already I graduated college that time. So our grandparents really stood as our parents. What I'm really lucky and grateful about, because of my loving grandparents, I could also somehow be raised up very well because of them. They love us like their own children. That's why I'm really, really grateful to my grandparents. They both already went to the spiritual world, and really before I miss them more than my own parents, because they really showed to us how the parents love. Of course, I need to cope up when my parents came back, and then I'm trying my best also. I took care of my father, and then they are now living together. My parents. Also, I'm finding way how to let them understand, especially my mother, more about the principle, and then later on, still we have chance to really live together because of my belief. That's why my mother, because I couldn't really witness to her yet, because also for a long time when she came back, she started to take care of my grandmother who was sick, and then my grandmother just passed away last year, end of 2019. So that's why we couldn't really have much time together still, my parents. That's why also I'm finding time, for her to be educated. Once she will going to understand, then for sure she will be with us, and then maybe helping our family, taking care of her grandchildren. Really amazing, actually. The love of the parents, how important it is, really having complete family. The family will going to really make the world and expand the world. So that's why Father is saying here, a person whose heart overflows with love is capable of working for the sake of others and for God. That's why this kind of heart can only be developed in the family. So that's why when we have this kind of family, then it will going to expand to the world. That's why, as what I'm going back. So because of this kind of family, so I really determined when I joined our movement, no matter what I said, I will going to build the family not the same with my parents. That's why I really determined, no matter what, despite the challenges and difficulties, I really submitted completely myself. That's my first goal. That is just a dream for me before, and then now I could have this family that God has given me. I really determined that time. I promised to have a parent no matter what. I will do everything. I will sacrifice everything and really offer my life as long as I can have this family. This is my determination. Through the matching, I need to be matched. I cannot choose my spouse. And then I let God, that's why I promise also to Heavenly Parent. When you give me the blessing, Heavenly Parent, I will going to work harder when I have my family. Because I owe to you this. Having this kind of family, I cannot meet my wife without Heavenly Parent and true parents. That's why when we are also, with my wife, we are always, going back to the origin. It's because of Heavenly Parent and true parents that we could meet each other. We could have now our 4 wonderful children. Really amazing. It's just a dream before for me. I really determined, and really I promise to Heavenly Parent, I will do everything and sacrifice everything for me to really build this family. It's really true once you determine. That's why I cannot imagine before. It's just in my mind. Imagining when I saw beautiful families, happy families, I really determined, no matter what, I told Heavenly Parent, no matter what, I will overcome everything and really, really build this family. This is like everything for me. This is like everything for me. That is the starting point. That's why no matter what difficulties I have gone through, I forget really myself, and then I never go home for a few years, several years, and I absolutely follow whatever they ask me to do, whatever, I really determined that I made that commitment to Heavenly Parent. That's why I cannot imagine now. I could have, I could meet my wife from Japan, and then now we could have 4 wonderful children. Really amazing Heavenly Parent. And once you determine, right, when you have that very clear dream, and then you really do your best. Really, Heavenly Parents will always be with you. This is really amazing. And then we can now really contribute, creating a beautiful society, beautiful nation, beautiful world. That's why it's starting in our own families. Aju, I think this is the last slide. So Father said, the family is where we receive so much love. So the family is where we receive so much love that it overflows from our hearts. The family protects its members in its embrace, but its function is not to prevent love from getting out. In fact, the love in the family should overflow into the surrounding community. No matter how much love may overflow, the love in the family will never go dry. This is because it is received from God. The love we receive from God is such that we can continue to dig it out but never see the bottom. In fact, the more we dig, the more love wells up like pure spring water. Anyone who has been raised in this love can lead a true life. Really amazing, the family. That's why, this time as a parent also, when I look at my children, I reminisce the time that when I was young. I remember when I was young, my mother was, to make money. She is, making laundry for our neighbors. And then I'm going with my mother. That time I remember when I was young. And then really, I could see, the love of my mother, especially because my father is always, drinking liquor, always, the time, not so much concerned about the family, but my mother, how much she's really sacrificing, doing everything for us. And then I could really feel the time. And then that's why my mother decided to go abroad in order for her to send us to school. And then because of that, then we could finish college, right? And then we could have good life. But even though we are separated the time, right? But because of the mother's love, because of our mother's love, even though she's far away from us, we could really grow up well. And then with also the support of our grandparents, right? So that's why it's really, really amazing. So in the family where love is really overflowing, and then now I could have my own family. How can we make this really family filled with love between husband and wife, and then really loving our children very well, and then really raising them up with this kind of love? Really, this is amazing. We can really feel Heavenly Parents' presence really in our own family. That's why really amazing. Really, our family, this is really an amazing school of love, where really love is really overflowing, Father is saying here, right? So the love we receive from God is such that we can continue to dig it out but never see the bottom. Continuously, like spring water, unending. So in fact, the more we dig, the more love wells up like pure spring water. Anyone who has raised up in this love can lead a true life. So in the family, right? So we need to have this kind of overflowing love in the family, love of the parents to their children, the love of husband and wife, children's love. When you really give so much love to your children, naturally your children will give it back, even though they're very young. Sometimes you can see when you come back home how much your children miss you so much, how much your children, always calling your name, Appa, Appa, Oma, Oma. You can really feel how much also your children loves you when you give so much love to them. That's why this love became overflowing. It never ending, right? That's why Father said, like the love we receive from God, you cannot see its bottom. It's continuously welling up, giving, and continuously like a spring water. Really, it's amazing. Our family. That's why our family now, that heavenly parents and true parents have given us, this is an amazing love. This is an amazing place where love is overflowing between husband and wife, parents and children, right? So if only this kind of family will spread until the ends of this earth, naturally kingdom of heaven will be realized. Aju, that's why today we are talking about the amazing, truth about building good and ideal family. That's why no matter what, our young brothers and sisters, if you always think about this, if you come from, the same family that I came from, You need to determine now. We are very lucky. We have our true parents. That's why I cannot express enough, my gratitude and, to our heavenly parent and to our true parents. I could have this kind of, family now. That's why I'm telling my mother before when, if I didn't meet, because sometimes, because she doesn't know true parents. I'm telling my mother, if not because of Father and Mother Moon, I cannot have this kind of family. Even I myself, I cannot imagine. I can never have this kind of family without true parents. I don't know what kind of life I have now. If I didn't meet true parents, if I didn't meet the principal, it's only because of true parents. It's only because of true parents. How grateful am I, right? That's why really, this is really the key. Knowing and understanding our beloved true parents. That's why if all people knows, and then true parents have shown us the example, and then really the solution in all problems in the world. Really, the family is really the key. That's why let's really determine our young brothers and sisters. Please always have this kind of thing in your mind. Always try to imagine, and always try to look that one day you're going to have this God-centered family that can really bring joy and happiness to heavenly parent, to true parents. When the society look at your family, when your neighbors look at your family, it could bring inspiration to them. It can bring joy and happiness to them. Aju, that's why let's really do our best with all the grace and blessing that we have received in this really amazing time where we are living together with our beloved true parents, with our beloved true mother. That's why let's really do our best. Really, like the spirit of really trying our best that really make our family the best in our community, in our barangay, in our society, that no one can, later on, they will just naturally agree and, naturally ask our secret, right? People will come. This is really what Father is talking about. The time will come. People will come to us when they will going to see how we practice and live our life, the teachings that our true parents have brought to this earth. Aju, so let's really do our best. It's really not yet, late, even though we have a lot of difficulties in our own families. It's not yet late. Let's really, open more our hearts and really embrace and really love each other, husband and wife, parents and children. Aju, and let's really build that family that Heavenly Parents is longing for. Aju, so once again, let's really appreciate our Heavenly Parent and true parents. They are really, really the only hope of this world. And then we need to really resemble and really become also the light of this world. And then finally, we can really build kingdom of heaven where all people can really live in joy and in happiness. Aju, thank you so much, our Heavenly Parents and true parents. And really thank you all beloved leaders and the central families and brothers and sisters. The Heavenly Parents' love and blessings be upon you and your families. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Let's once again give a virtual round of applause for that guidance from our national leader, Sir Leo Angelo Halog. So let us all do our best in building God-centered, ideal, loving, happy families. And for those brothers and sisters who are around my age, who are also young, let's determine ourselves to also create these types of families. At this point of time, we will be hearing some reflections. So without further ado, I would first like to welcome our sister, Hwayong Boyayo Anen, to give her reflection. Let's give her a virtual round of applause.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, it's clear, right? Okay, so my reflection will be based on our national leaders message about, family is a school of love, and then, through families, how important their positions are as blessed families. So, as a second gen, maybe, I think other second gens can relate, but yeah, most of our parents are really, well, my parents are, busy with their mission. And at those, and, like, because they've been so busy with their mission, sometimes I would feel lonely because they've never been with us so much. Like, yeah, I would feel very lonely. And then I would think like, I would think like, what is it that our movement is preaching? They say, like ideal families, true families. But then why do I feel lonely in my family? Yeah. Why do I like and then like parental love? What is that? But yeah, I guess. And then but yeah, so like I understand. But then for my case, I think everyone has heard my testimony from Dr. Young, right? Like, yeah, my achievements of me finishing the ADP. And it was only at that time that, I felt, I realized, what it means. Because like, as I read the Divine Principle, I read about God's history, to parents, like how much God has really sacrificed, and how much our true parents has sacrificed. Like I was able to, I was sorry. It was true that I was able to understand why my parents are always away. And sorry. And like, I was able to learn what parental love is through, God's words, through communicate, through knowing our true parents. I'm really grateful because I have learned this early on at a very early age, at 13 years old. But but then unfortunately, my other fellow second generations aren't like me. They weren't able to discover God and true parents in their life as early as I could. That's why some of them has are resentment towards the church, and resentment towards their family. Yes. So that's why I want to encourage these families to like to try to know their children, like they to try to know their interest, and of course like but then don't judge too harshly, because like or try to find the good side of on the good side of why they're interested in those things. Because and also like try to also believe on their God-given consciousness of their conscience, like believe that. And then because because like because and also like also be be there for them when they need you emotionally, like show them that like you have to show them that you would be there, because like for me, I in my family, I didn't grow up confident of my parents' love. I I I did not grow up that confident that my parents love me, and that's also one reason why I have always been lonely, because like they weren't always there. They were busy with their mission. So that's why, but then thankfully I discovered God and true parents in even even though it was even though I was struggling with my parents. So yun, I wish to encourage best families to like know what their children is like, and then like know what they need. Like every children is different. Maybe you know some would love to some would love to have your time. Maybe some would love to receive gifts, and or some would love to have some would love to hear your words or your encouragement. So learn what your children like their language of love. So, and then I also realized it's like I'm a new mom. My baby is 1 year old, and I am for now I'm in the position of giving him love. For now I cannot hear. He still does not speak. He doesn't say I love you yet, but I cannot wait to hear on the day that he says I love you, when he learns how to speak. Or yeah. Anyways, I've realized that parenting is also almost like uh witnessing, because like when there I realized that the reason why members come into our movement is because like they've been touched, because like the people, their spiritual parent, spiritual parent. I mean, they've been with them like when I think they've been touched, because like even on their hard times, in their very hard times, those members have stood by their side and have really listened to their problems, and then they showed them through their actions, through their faith, what true parents means to them, and how they change through the movement. So I think parents should also do the same with their children. So yeah, and also like also for blessed families, for the couples, try to show even just a little bit of how the husband and wife love each other, because I did not know that I was treating my husband the way my mother was treating my father until I was blessed until I had a husband. but I could see that my parents really had loved each other, and I'm really now, as I am a parent myself, I'm also now grateful for my parents, and grateful for what my movement has, what the movement, what true parents and God and true parents has done for my parents, for changing them. And I know that, and I'm grateful that my parents are together, and that they don't smoke, they don't drink, and they're not they're not abusive and like that. So again, I would like to say that we blessed families should uh, be role models, even not just in church activities, but in our families, you know, and so that through that, the next generation will learn, and then will see that they and will see how much important our movement is, like how great it is to be a blessed family, how great our God and true parents are. So that is all. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, our sister Huayong, for sharing your reflection this morning. And I'm sure a lot of other blessed children, other blessed families could also relate to your reflection. So let's move on to another reflection. So without further ado, please give a virtual round of applause to Mrs. Hida Suzuki to share with us her reflection this morning.
Hello. Good morning, beloved parents and true parents. Good morning, leaders, elders, and brothers and sisters. My reflection to our topic, true love, is found in true families. Our true parents really emphasize to us about true love. True love is a sacrificial love. It is not personal love. It is not owned by only one, but God owned that love, and we should own it as we inherit His true love. Talking about true parents, I always been touched by our true parents, because true parents have a different, really, they modeled a life which is so different from the fallen world, and it is always sacrificial. When we talk about true parents, we could always see from them the word blessing. So when I became a member in our church, I don't know about the blessing. And as a cart member, um, I always wanted to help young people. I want to help my community. It is a heart that is also, I find, with a Christian background, that kind of sacrificial love. But when I came to know true parents, that is a higher kind of love that I felt. That is why, from knowing the principle and having the blessing, I could recognize how wonderful, really, our true parents want us to have here in this on earth, and how we could be able to live in the next world. After having my kids, I could feel true parents' um, situation. And it is not easy for us, blessed families, to rear our children. Sometimes we are occupied with our mission, and our kids have to find their life lonely. But then, when they I know when they matured and could recognize such kind of heart like our true parents, and they experience that kind of love, they could understand how their parents really gone through in uh, their life of faith. So I decided in my life that although that is the consequences that children could felt that loneliness when their parents are not around, um, we always pray about how they could manage to come up and go through with that loneliness. And as I see the community while I was in Japan, it is so different from the Philippines. I've seen our church in that time. The kids were brought into the church, and the young members have been the one taking care of them, and they are on the world mission. So I could feel that heartbreaking situation. But if the parents did not sacrifice, our church cannot grow such a um, bigger foundation. So I am so grateful with our blessed families who have gone through such difficulties, because it is not just for our family, but for all the people of the world, that they could find our true parents, they could find true love. And then at the reading, true love is like um, we are tasting, like the bees risking its life to get hold of a flower for the nectar. It is like us that if we find true love, we can even risk our lives in order to fulfill our given mission. It is a task really responding to our true parents' heart and to our heavenly parents' calling. Nobody else could, true parents and heavenly parents could trust, but we who have understand the truth, who have really accepted um, the vision and the mission being the chosen ones and also the blessed families, and also being true parents um, contemporary at this moment of time in history. I also been touched with um, the message: a family is the school where love for humanity is taught and learned. A family expands to create a world and the reason the family is important is that it expands to become the world. The true family is the basis for forming a true society, the true nation, and true world. It is the starting point toward a world of peace that is God's kingdom. So when I was in Japan, I was really been um, looking at the community, not just in our church but outside. When we are witnessing, it is so difficult to witness. They are so busy for their job. They really have that first priority. So many of the families have been broken because they don't have enough time for their families. They don't have the education they needed to educate their children. So even now, they have the problem that they have a population problem. They have a small population now because couples doesn't like to have kids. So when I see such kind of problem, it is our task as um, our true parents, emissaries, that we should be able to see this um, kind of problem and how to solve it. So when I see true fathers blessing interracial um, couples, I could see the hope in that kind of situation, because if people remain to really do their um, common things, then there is no hope. So I see the hope through intermarriages. So the blessing is very important, and I truly could see Japan's effort, how they could be able to catch up with the population. So some community, they are saying that international community can stay in their community so that their population will grow like that. So the government will finance that. So it is really for me, it is really a hope for our interracial families, because even the government has been acknowledging that their population could grow if they could embrace the international um, families. So being in the BFD, I really felt that why God has been calling me for this, even though I felt so unworthy. But when I see that vision that through blessed families, um, the world could have hope, and true love can be found in these blessed families and true families. So I really truly believe that um, true parents hard works could fruition through our blessings, and um, finally we could be able to realize little by little the vision that our true parents have for humanity. I am so grateful for everyone's listening. Thank you so much. And this is my reflection. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mrs. Hida Suzuki. Once again, let's give a round of applause to our two reflectors this morning, Ms. Wayong Anen and Mrs. Hida Suzuki. Now, to receive and hear final guidance for our morning devotion this morning, let's give a virtual round of applause to our Vice President of Asia Pacific 2, none other than our Reverend Julius Malikdem. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, and thank you very much, Vic, for leading this Hundukhe. And thank you to all brothers and sisters who joined us this morning. We appreciate our national leader, Kuya LA, for guiding us, giving us this very important guidance for reminding us again of the value of the family. So thank you for the reflection of Wayong and Atihida. So we learned true love is found in the families. And what is very important, true father reminded us that parents act as the protective shield around the home. So this talks not only of physical protection, but most importantly is spiritual protection. And to strengthen this shield around the home, the husband and wife relationship is so important. The husband, so it means parents act as the protective shield. It talks about both the father and the mother. And this forms a very strong protective shield in the family. And then also we were reminded that the family is the starting point of kingdom of heaven, right? And already I mentioned before that the minimum structure in the kingdom of heaven is the family. So I think I mentioned before that if a blessed family have problems while on the earth, when they go to the spirit world, or for example, the husband goes ahead, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. He will stay in a place like waiting room. You know, it's like paradise in the kingdom of paradise in the realm, in the direct dominion of heavenly parents. So it's not yet kingdom of heaven. And then they have to wait together with the wife, with the family, because it is a place where the husband and wife enter together. So that's why if there are some problems, then they have to stay somewhere else, not yet kingdom of heaven, but it is in the realm of God's dominion. So this means that we don't have concept of individual salvation. You know, actually this is the strength of our movement. we always think of minimum family salvation. Family salvation. So that means husband and wife and children together, and all your relatives, your parents, your grandparents. So that's why even we're talking of ancestors' liberation and blessing, because it talks about being together, not just to be saved alone. And the cornerstone of our true parents' teaching is the family. And we can say probably that the greatest legacy, of course, true parents already have a lot of great legacies in this world. All the institutions, all the organizations, all the achievements and accomplishments of our true parents. But the greatest legacy of our true parents is realizing Heavenly Parents' ideal of what a family should be, of which Adam and Eve failed to accomplish. The first parents could not do this, but through our true parents, true father and true mother, could finally establish God's original family, fixing the problem that started in the Garden of Eden. So that's why we inherit this as blessed families. We are extension of that original ideal that true parents started. And I was very surprised. We are studying communist ideology because we are teaching now victory over communism. And one of the opposition or the declaration of the communists in their manifesto is to abolish the family. Really, this is very contrary to our true parents' teachings, very contrary to what we are advocating. So anyway, we've learned already that in the family, this is the place where we learn true love. Family is the place, we can say that the family is the place to practice true love while we are still young. And then at the same time, family is also the place that we can raise up patriots. Because filial piety, when we extend it in the nation, then it becomes love of nation. It becomes love of the family. In fact, True Father said, before teaching your children to love you as parents, you have to teach them to love their nation first. So this is extending true love centering on the nation. For example, we are called Tongil Kyo, for example, right? So Kyo or church actually means tradition or teaching. And then I've learned that when the Chinese character Kyo, when you separate it, it is composed of two words, which means filial piety and parents. They come together, filial piety and parents. So filial piety is not only one direction. That means like children towards parents, children towards parents. No, it's not. We've learned that when we practice filial piety in the realm of true love, then position does not matter. So that means it talks about up and down and up, front and back, right and left. So husband and wife can practice filial piety towards each other. Parents can practice filial piety towards their children. So we practice filial piety in all directions. So we have to remember this, brothers and sisters. And then one thing that True Father mentioned in the guidance today, parental love is the greatest love of all. So mali the greatest love of all, learning to love yourself, no? So parental love, Father said, parental love is the greatest love of all. Why? Because let's think about the heart of parents. Parents always want to give and give and give, want to invest and invest, and then want to invest more, want to give more, and then can even shed tears when nothing to give anymore. This is the heart of a true parent. So that's why, and then parents also, no problem, they can bequeath everything to their children, no problem. They can give everything, even they can give the universe to their children. This is parental love. So that's why when we talk about the tradition, carrying this tradition of true love, I'm very happy to listen to Wayung's testimony that in the beginning she's struggling so much about the parents having no time, and then now being a mother herself, then she can value more the sacrifice of parents. This is actually what is important. The virtue that children learns is respect and gratitude. And most of the time, when we become parents ourselves, when children become parents themselves, this is the time that we confirm this respect and gratitude. Pag bata pa tayo, hindi pa natin gaano ma-feel yan. But when we ourselves become parents, that will be the time that you will appreciate your parents and you will respect more your parents. So already I mentioned the 3 traditions given to us by our true parents, right? Shedding tears for man, shedding sweat for the earth, and shedding blood for heaven. The last one, shedding blood for heaven, means sacrifice. So this is the concept of shedding blood for heaven, total sacrifice. And the concept of total sacrifice, we can see that in parents' love. Like, for example, the mother giving milk to her child. And then we learn that how the mother's milk is produced, it comes from the mother's blood. This is a perfect example of sacrificial love. So, final point, brothers and sisters. Family should be the center of faith education. When we talk about faith education, dalawa yan, vertical education and horizontal education. Very simple. Vertical education talks about what? We always recite every day, perfecting the 4 great realms of heart. 4 great realms of heart and 3 great kingships. That means 3 generations together. That is the perfection of vertical education in the family. Yung horizontal education naman is what? This is the 3 great, this is talking about the realm of the royal family. It talks about horizontal, no? Making a community, settlement of heavenly parents, holy community. This is the settlement. That's why we can say that the family is where the culture of attendance will settle down. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Horizontal education, we need to have the heart of becoming parents ourselves to other people, witnessing, HTM, becoming chonbo. No? So that means this is the settlement of the family. When we multiply blessed families, this is the protection. Kanina sabi, parents are the protection in the home. But what will protect the family? It is the realm of chonbo. It means multiplying blessed families around us. This is the greatest protection. So thank you very much for this guidance today. Kamsahamnida. Let's have victorious day today.
Yes, thank you so much, our Sir Julius, for giving us the final guidance for this morning. And now we will be proceeding to our closing prayer for this morning. So to give us the closing prayer, please help me to welcome our Director for the Blessed Family Department in the Philippines, Mrs. Dulce Buyayo, for our closing prayer.
Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, how beautiful your plan when you created Adam and Eve in the very beginning. Heavenly Parent, we know that because of their failure, human being had gone through a lot of miserable, tragic situation, Heavenly Parent, that make you suffer more. We thank you because we had our two parents now who have been guiding us every step of the way in order to recover this lost family. As really blessed families, Heavenly Parent, we know that it's very important to be one with our beloved two parents, to really establish this family and at the same time spread this, Father, to the world. We should be the blessing, Father, to other people. So I pray that within our family, we can establish this ideal and at the same time, Heavenly Parent, create these 3 generations that really a foundation for us, Father, to settle down, wherein you can completely be with us. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much once again for this morning's inspiration. And I hope and pray that we will continue to move on, fulfill our responsibility and really make you happy in this very important time. Thank you for all these things. I would like to offer and pray and report in our names. Alfonso and Dulce, Buyaya Blessed Central Family, Aju.
Aju. Let us all offer our individual prayer. Aju, Aju, Aju. Once again, brothers and sisters, elders, blessed families, thank you so much for attending our morning devotion this morning. We hope that you are able to receive a lot of inspiration and guidance, and let us all do our best in creating and establishing God-centered, loving, happy, ideal families. May you have a blessed day ahead of you.